Be a man of bravery, be a man of bravery, this is what you are, this is what you are,
Good afternoon and welcome to all our viewers across Africa and the world as we bring you the last broadcast of Skills Update from the Dome in Swakopmund, where WorldSkills Africa 2022 is slowly but surely coming to an end. Taking place only for the second time on African soil, the conference brought together policymakers, industry and experts to focus on technical, vocational education and training, TVET. Now today we'll reflect on what happened during the TVET conference that came to an end yesterday, as well as the career exhibition, as well as the skills competition that is coming to a close today. Time for a break though, and when we return we'll talk to a representative from Gondwana. Stay with us. Welcome back. You are watching Skills Update and we're coming to you live from the Dome in Swakopmund, where WorldSkills Africa is still underway. Joining me now is a representative from Gondwana Collection Namibia, Silke Ahrens. They are a major partner of the Namibia Training Authority. Thank you so much, Silke, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Tell us more about Gondwana's involvement in WorldSkills Africa 2022.
One of our key guidelines is that you can only be successful if you make others successful. So this is an easy choice for us for the last 8 years, having been a partner with NTA, and it's accumulated to this lovely, exciting event that we're at now.
Now, obviously, right now, I don't think our viewers can hear. There's a lot of excitement going downstairs. Yes. Earlier, there's a lot of kids, a lot of the young people. We had these South Africans singing quite loudly, you know, and I thought, did they win? But that was just the South African spirit. They love to dance and really, but I understand that the reason why they were so excited was because I think they are done with most of their participation in the different trades, which was, I think they took part in 15 out of 16 trades in terms of the competition. But getting back to Gondwana, how exactly did Gondwana assist the Namibia Training Authority, which is one of the main organizers of this event?
We have been engaging with NTA throughout the years on cooperations in Namibia on TVET promotions, and here specifically the company has been a big support and accommodation availing, and also vouchers for, I believe, the competition winners.
What would you say in terms of Gondwana? Because Gondwana is very much involved in also the hospitality industry, yes. Obviously. The importance of TVET for Gondwana and being part of that, do you also think it's your way of supporting this vibrant industry?
It is a vibrant industry. It's a major employer within the country, and it's a chance enabler. It's an opportunity enabler for young people who are looking for their ways. And the beauty about the cooperation is that we're changing the language of how skills are seen. There's a new benchmark, there's a new standard, and the competition we have here is showing us what can be done, and it changes the language we have across the regional boundaries.
Any last message that you would like to share, especially with viewers across Africa as well as the world?
The excitement in the room, the energy we could feel from the very moment we stepped in here has been so energizing, and I believe that everybody who walks away from here will be a new ambassador and a more excited ambassador for skills education.
And please do come and
yes.
stay at any Gondwana accommodation. I can guarantee you the delight especially is one of the most beautiful places that I've seen.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much, Silke Ahrens. That was Silke Ahrens from Gondwana Collection Namibia, one of the major partners of the Namibia Training Authority that was very much involved in WorldSkills Africa and supporting it. We'll be taking a break, and then we're going to go down to the noisy area downstairs. We'll tell you more about that after this break.
In the arena, and not only competitors and exhibitions are welcome here, but of course also members of society and our people from day-to-day life. So we are very keen to find out what our school kids are feeling about all of this, and you know, get a little bit of nudge out of their heads. So let's check out how they feel. Okay, so we are here with our very first school-going person. I have to ask, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Great. Can you please introduce yourself to our WorldSkills family?
Hi, my name is Sylvain Kamendu, and I'm a student at Peter Canep Secondary School in Uis.
You had like an amazing experience. You saw amazing things. So what is one skill that you definitely resonated with that you're going to take back with you home?
Cooking, definitely.
Cooking,
yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to become a chef if it's not a geologist.
All right.
Yeah.
So you would want to see geology more incorporated in the next WorldSkills.
Yeah.
Wow, it was amazing talking to you. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here.
Thank you, guys.
We are back and we are joined by... All right, so where are you from? What school do you attend?
Actually, I'm schooling at Disabilities, a school in Uis.
Okay, now please tell us, we are dying to know, how has your overall experience at the WorldSkills has been?
Actually, when I was at school, my aim was like to become an. Since I was young, my aim was to become an engineer, auto mechanic. But then when I came here, I've been like walking around, but I couldn't find it. Maybe I'll still get it. But so, yeah, I'm immersed when I came here because there's a lot of things I never saw, and I'm really impressed. Yeah.
Is it what you expected or above your expectations?
Above my expectations.
Wow. We are back, and today we are joined by. Wow. Please tell us, Andreas, where are you from and where do you school?
I'm from Greece and I'm schooling at TVET.
Wow. So we want to know, how has your experience been here at the WorldSkills? Like, is this what you expected it to be?
It has very been good. I have experienced everything I wanted to know.
So you feel like you can go home and say, I've experienced.
Oh, yes.
So please tell us, what is the best part of your experience here? What skill that you see that you were like, wow, I'm really going to apply this to my life and I might just take it home with me?
It's about finding out more about the future job I want to do in life, the subject that I want, I have to have.
All right, everyone, we've definitely roamed the streets of WorldSkills Africa today. You know, we've seen it all, we've heard it all. But one skill that I would have loved to see here is talking, presenting, speaking, emceeing, all of that. So hopefully we'll catch this in the next WorldSkills, be it in Namibia or any other African countries. We've definitely had an amazing time. So I'm about to head out.
Neighbouring country South Africa brought to the WorldSkills Africa competition in Swakopmund now 15 competitors to battle out in 16 skills. Pardon me. Today is the fourth and last day of the competition, and joining me now is South Africa's Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation Technology, Mr. Buti Manamela. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
Your country is the oldest member of WorldSkills.
Yeah.
So obviously a huge honor for you to participate in this competition. What does it mean for your country?
Well, it means quite a lot. Firstly, I mean, we take this WorldSkills quite seriously in our country, and we obviously are hoping for the best. But the second thing is that this is still the elementary and building stage for WorldSkills in Africa, and we are using this as an opportunity to help contribute towards WorldSkills in our continent. But I mean, if the way I've seen, I think it not only means a lot for us in the ministry and in government, but also for the participants who are here. I mean, they're quite excited to be part of this journey to contribute towards building WorldSkills Africa. And of course, we're having it in Namibia.
And you have quite a huge team that was seemed like they were celebrating already much earlier. South Africa is very confident.
Well, we are quite modest, but we obviously are hoping to, win in most, if not all, of the competitions. But at the end of the day, I think for us, it's about the contribution that this makes to the participants. It's about them having been part of this stage, competing for skills at this level. But also it's about them contributing back at home to more and more young people taking the question of skills and skills competition quite seriously. I think if you have seen how they've been dancing and celebrating immediately after almost every skill has been complete, you'd really think psychologically we're getting there. But we really respect all the other participants because we think that we all stand a chance. And beyond whoever gets a medal, we are quite appreciative of the people-to-people exchange. I went to one of the stalls here, which is on web designing. And the expert there was telling me that they've grouped the participant, doesn't matter from which country they are, into one group, and they're designing a website for this WorldSkills competition. And in the process, they're getting to know each other, to make friendship, and which is what WorldSkills, I think, for us should be about.
Now, at this WorldSkills event, it's not only about the skills competition or the career exhibition. You also had the TVET conference that came to an end yesterday. Tell us more about the importance, especially from a South African view, the importance of TVET, not only for your country, but also for the continent.
Yeah. Look, I mean, for years, TVETs have been the underdogs of the education system. I think the role and contribution that TVETs could make in the skills revolution, not only of our country, but the continent and the world, has been downplayed. And we've done quite a lot for the last 10 to 15 years in growing the TVET sector. Not only in terms of the number of students who have interest, towards TVET education, but also, in terms of growing the infrastructure, in getting partnership with industry, in placing TVET graduates at industry so that they can get workplace experience. And so TVETs play an important role in our economic recovery plan that is led by our president. What we really want to see and what we've taken away from this WorldSkills conference, particularly the focus being on TVET, was the fact that we need to be focusing into skills of the future. We need to be positioning our TVET colleges to start thinking seriously about linking, what are future skills with the kind of curriculum and training that happens at TVET colleges. We'll need, obviously, to have resources invested. We'll need cooperation amongst African countries. We'll also need, to learn from the world, how they got to where they are, and start thinking about, beyond where the world is now, so that we're able to produce capable young people who are able to, take our continent and our country forward.
Is there any, especially there were quite a number of themes that were discussed at the TVET conference. Was there something in terms of what transpired there that stood out for you?
Well, I think, from the engagement that I've had with our participants at the conference, that for us what is crucial is growing the TVET sector. But beyond that, it's the articulation between the TVET sector and university education, so that one can, consider starting their education at TVET colleges and end up being, a PhD graduate. That articulation, I think, for me, it's important, and it will definitely place TVET students, or young people, to strongly consider studying at TVET colleges, as is the case now. And when I was having a conversation yesterday with your minister here, and she told me that that's the case here. Every young person, when they study, the first consideration for them is, going to a university. Whereas, the kind of skills that they may need are only provided for at a TVET college. And I think for me, for us to place TVET colleges as a priority and institutions of choice for young people would be a big plus, which is one of the things that got discussed at the conference.
Mr. Buti, Manamela, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, Science and Innovation Technology in South Africa. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll continue with our broadcast after this break.
120.
How much is the pair of socks?
It's 120. The difference. Then we also have the t-shirts and then the hoodies.
T-shirt I have already.
So we are having the mini verification plan where we have to assess them how to optimize the treatment plan and to save the energy at the end of the day. This one, what is now busy is the accident-based titration. In water technology, we have to find out also that the water that we are purifying is not acidic or is not corrosive. Okay. Part of the test is to find out that the water that we have to distribute is not scale forming or is not acidic.
What is the significance perhaps of this event, not only to Namibia but to Africa as well?
The significance and importance of this type of programs, nationally, continentally, and internationally, is that all of us in life, we have to learn to do things and do things properly.
Yeah.
We can't continue to live in thatched houses. You must build your house. You must build your door. You must fix your electricity. You must fix your water system. And that is what is important for all of us. And it's a common property it's a common issue to all humanity.
Mm-hmm. What have your thoughts been so far from you just exhibiting through the stalls and just seeing the exhibitors? What have been your thoughts so far?
I am very much impressed. The young people are the ones who are doing things. The expert, we have international experts here to show to us how things are done and how things are done properly. And we must appreciate that the standard must be raised. Standard of training, standard of doing things, and standard of managing things.
And this little system that we've designed summarizes where the water comes from, how it's cleaned, because when you ask them where does your water come from, where does it go, they have no idea. From the lake.
Welcome back. More than 100 competitors are competing in 16 skill areas at the competition hall. There's a lot of excitement going down there, and I'm going to cross over now to Emil Seibeb, our roving reporter, who's going to tell us what all the singing and the dancing was all about. Emil Seibeb, over to you.
Rightfully, like you said, Franlin, there's a lot of excitement in the dome, in the competition hall this afternoon. Earlier, we had a Team South Africa representatives from South Africa, including their national experts and their chief experts, chanting and cheering the competitors from SA. Yesterday, the hairdressing skill set was the first one to finish, but this morning, I'll just ask Rona, the camera lady, to show you a bit of these dresses. The fashion technology skill set afternoon, Ghana, Uganda and South Africa. A lot of excitement. Maybe I can just call the designers, the competitors in the fashion skill set to join me so they can just explain to me, how was this competition? Which country do you represent?
I'm representing South Africa, and the competition was amazing. It was super, and everything went well as we planned. Everything is nice.
Super. Young lady is probably from Namibia, eh? We need to celebrate, Mama. I'm not being biased, but we need to celebrate. Let's have a look at your dress here. How did you find the competition?
I found the competition was really good because we're learning from each other because him and her, our goals are more or like they're the same. So yeah, it was good because we're learning from each other and yeah.
Team Ghana, just get a bit closer here. What did you learn? Well done. You finalized your product. What did you learn? Are you representing Africa in China?
Yeah, I am so much excited to be part of WorldSkills Namibia. Of course, this is a teamwork, and then I love how everybody has brought up the ideas. We all made it. I'm so much excited, and then I just want to say all of us, we are going to Shanghai. Yeah.
As I've been saying from day one, the team spirit, the union, the unity that this competition embeds, shows among the competitors is quite amazing. Behind me, the chant started again. The announcer just announced that the cooking skill set has 5 minutes before they finish their dish. Automobile also finished 5 minutes ago. Water technology finished. We hear cheers, we hear hand claps, we hear ululation in the dome. There is spirit. It's 10 African countries, including Team Refugee, which makes them 11, taking part in 16 skill sets, vocational skill sets. The African continent needs this. The African continent wants this. And winners that will be announced tomorrow morning at the Dome will then represent Namibia in Shanghai later this year. Let's go for a quick break.
Yeah, I was born in Kenya and grew up any bouncing boy and hanging out in the hoods and going through primary school, and when just started secondary school, and Christmas Eve was one of those dates that changed my life, and that was there was this attack and explosion which threw me up in there, and the next minute I was in hospital. I'd lost my sight. Just emotional trauma, acceptance, denial, why me, and crossing that curve where then you start to rediscover yourself. I studied a Bachelor of Education, graduated with a honors degree, which then enabled me to be a lecturer at a teachers training college. So that was the beginning of my journey in terms of growing professionally. Having an educational background and working with disability rights organization gave me a better, deeper understanding of the disparities within the whole educational system in the continent. You find, especially the Anglophone countries, English-speaking states in the continent, have a stronger background in terms of disability inclusion right from the war in 1940s, and that's evident. You see it in terms of structures, in terms of policies, in terms of curriculum, in terms of institutions that ensure that a person with disability have access to education. Skills, these are TVETs, training people with disability, blind people on cybersecurity, on Amazon Web. You see, these are very technical tracks within the digital skills in the TVET system. We see construction, we see other disciplines which in comparative countries, because there is no foundation, then there is that a difficulty. But I still believe that there is right now sharing of practices, and that's really the bridge. And such kind of conferences like this open up those networking and collaboration. How can we make it better back in our own countries? my message to the young people of Africa that we have got options. It's a dream that we are being given, and TVET is an opportunity for us to exploit our potential. It's an opportunity of giving us a chance to move out of homes, to scale where those where structures have said that, okay, we cannot be lawyers, we cannot be we cannot take political science, but skills, but TVET opens up other careers. It creates that space for us to, within a short time, have a turnaround. It gives us a chance to know independence, and I think that's quite important, because skill sets right from high school can easily be scaled up in terms of passion, and I think that's what is important. For those with disabilities, I think it's critical, because we know of attrition, the number of those who drop out and who do not graduate into colleges and universities. I think that is an important group that can also know that there is a chance, and TVET is a route which, a career path which can make them realize some of these opportunities, some of these professions, some of these skills, and it's quite a whole spectrum. And I was very happy that through the ASPAI, Africa Union Development Agency, NEPAD, the CIFA ASPAI portal is documenting all these, because somebody in Senegal might not know that there is an inclusive TVET track in Namibia. Somebody in Mozambique might not know that there is digital skills training that includes people with disability in Ghana. So I believe this kind of platforms, this kind of exchange opens up opportunity that it is possible, because there is practice across Africa.
Welcome back. We are still broadcasting live here on Skills Update at the Dome in Swakopmund, where WorldSkills Africa 2022 is slowly, surely coming to an end, but not yet. Joining me now is Amon Haufiku. He is the chairperson of the TVET Conference Organizing Committee. Now, this conference, Amon, good day, came to an end yesterday.
Yes, thank you very much.
Please just reflect briefly about some of the topics or themes that were under discussion at the TVET conference.
Thank you so much. Yes, my name is Amon Haufiku. I'm the chairperson of the TVET Organizing Committee, TVET Conference Organizing Committee.
Haufiku,
maybe
yes, apologies for getting your surname wrong.
Yes, it's always those confusing. In terms of the themes that were underpinning the conference discussions, there were 4 themes. When the first theme is effective TVET system, whereby we were looking at the aspect of quality in terms of the TVET systems when it comes to the African countries. And there we were zooming, looking at the linkages between the labor market information systems with versus curriculum development, because a number of times you find there is a mismatch between the curriculum that is being developed. The graduate, when they go in the field of work, they do not really, there's a mismatch they are not well prepared, they are not trained, that they do not speak to, their competencies do not speak to the competencies that are required in the industry. So we're looking at that.
Before you continue, if you could, when you mentioned the themes that were under discussion, can we reflect a little bit more on that in terms of any suggestions that came from the TVET conference floor with regard to that?
Yes. Actually, like in the context that I was just highlighting now is that, so the recommendation that was given there is that the labor market information must be the key in terms of to inform the development of the curricula. The other aspect that is on the teacher training. The teacher training, it was found that the recommendation that came out is that countries must put effort to ensure that the teachers are capacitated, they are upgraded, especially when you talk about, for example, in the fourth industrial revolutions now. So before we infuse any technologies, we make sure that the teachers who are going to, the trainers who are going to make use of that technologies are well, brought up to in terms of the capacity building, professional development of the teachers. The other aspect is the socio-professional integrations. Now we're looking at how they integrate, how when the graduates are, when they graduated, when they go in the field of work. So the recommendation that came out there is that in most times you'll find that there is the graduates, they lack what we call the employability skills. Nowadays they call it 21st century skills. So it's very, very crucial that for the graduate to make sure that for the TVET sectors, to make sure that the emphasis also must be put on those soft skills, not only on the hard skills. Yes, you are a plumber, but you need also to get those soft skills to enable you to function well in the world of work. The second theme that we looked at, very importantly, it was the TVET funding models, and that was a very interesting topic where we were looking at the sustainability of TVET, of funding the TVET systems, because the concentration mostly it was more on the tertiary institutions. But what came out there was to make sure that at least we came up with a sustainable model in terms of funding. An encouragement was given to the rest of African countries, at least also to establish those that do not have the training levy systems, and at least to establish a training levy system to enable them to be, to have a sustainable TVET systems. The third theme is on the TVET and technologies, the infusion of technology into TVET, and I always have previously highlighted to say the challenge that was there during the lockdowns when there was no training taking place. So we were taken through some presentations on the aspect of, for example, the augmented realities. So we're talking about simulations. Probably those are some of the recommendations that were given to say, yes, sometimes it's expensive to buy, like when you go into the simulation, when you are buying those equipments, but it's appropriate, for the training because, in terms of the space, in terms of whatsoever, the precision, the accuracy, it guides you. And maybe when you maybe went into the stations there, in the skills areas there, you would find even there was a simulation for welding. And even some of the trainers, they went there to test. You are a trainer, but they went to test. They couldn't even get even 90%. Yeah. So because they are precision, and it's very important that we infuse technologies in our TVET training systems.
Let me ask you this question quickly, Amon. Common challenges faced by African countries, especially when it comes to technology. Yes. What are those?
The common challenge when it comes to technologies is that in most cases we are using only traditional, equipments, traditional trades. So the trainers are not capacitated. The workshops are not equipped with the latest infrastructures. So those are common challenges that found here and there. And when you talk about quality of a TVET system, it first has to start with the trainer. So if the trainer and the curriculum is not also speaking to the industry needs, then of course there's an imbalance there, there's a mismatch between the two. So the encouragement that was given there is just to make sure that at least the industries are highly involved. The industry must contribute because it was also found that For example, when we develop the curriculums, we invite the industry experts to come. But sometimes the people that we are getting is not maybe the right people, or people when they develop their qualifications, they would still go and criticize to say, no, this is bad. They were part and parcel of that. So we want to make sure that at least there's a consistency, we understand each other, we address, we bring out those things during the development of the curriculum to make sure that it speaks to the needs of the industry.
If we can have a look at another theme.
Yes, the last theme. The last theme is now gender and social inclusion in TVET. It was a very interesting, it was the last discussion that we had just yesterday, where we started with the video first profiling, you know, the two ladies with visual, one is with visual impaired. She's even here. So who is doing the massage and, you know, and then the other one was a wheelchair bound who is, you know, diamond cutting. So there were videos that we already, because we as the NTA, that was one of the areas that we profiled 45 TVET graduates or anybody who is doing something in the TVET. And those were among those that we've, selected just to show the rest of the African countries in terms of what we are doing. But what came out there was that, yes, in most cases, either in the classrooms or whatever, the people with disabilities, sometimes the environment is not conducive for them. But you would notice that those who were following in the conference, that even the stage, because we also had our Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister for Disability, she was among the panelists, and they were really contributing. And I think what came out there, we have the recommendations that we get as part of the rapporteur, and we want to use those as a position paper that will give to the AU, African Union, to use it as a driving vehicles in terms of sharing with all the African member states to infuse, to implement those recommendations. And that's how we can standardize. So there are a lot of discussions, so we're only waiting for that report, and once it comes out, it's going to be shared with the rest of the African countries using the AU as a vehicle to channel those ones. And as we speak, before to conclude, all the presentations that were presented there, they can be found, they can be accessed through the WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022 website, so they can download there and they have them at their own place. Thank you.
Amon Haufiku, Chairperson of the TVET Conference Organising Committee. Thank you so much for sharing that.
It's a pleasure having me. Thank you.
It's time for a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We continue with our broadcast here from the Dome in Swakopmund, Namibia, where WorldSkills Africa 2022 is still underway. Now, yesterday, the TVET conference that was taking place came to an end. Today will be the last day of the competition, and we are looking forward to hear who's going to be crowned the African champion that will represent the continent in Shanghai, China in September for the international WorldSkills competition. For now, let's find out what's happening in the exhibition hall. Elago Shitaatala is standing by to give us an update. Elago, over to you.
Thank you so much, friend. Yes, indeed, we are all looking forward to finding out who is going to be crowned champion in the various skills here at WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022. Now, today we focus on a different exhibitor, also plays an important role at WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022, and today it is Lincoln Electric. They have sponsored the WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022 quite immensely, and to find out or to tell us more about it, I am joined by Tulani from the company. Tulani, hi.
Hi, Elago. Thanks for talking to me.
All right. So first of all, please help us understand what Lincoln Electric is all about. What is the company all about?
Oh, well, without going into too much detail, Lincoln Electric is playing a leading role in terms of manufacturing, or at least from the design point of view, to the manufacturing and also to the supply of welding and cutting technology throughout the various regions in the world. But when it comes to education, we also take it very seriously. So we have been involved with welding education more specifically for many years. I mean, we have a school that has been in existence for more than 120 years in our headquarters in Cleveland, Ohio. But also in our local region, we have participating and collaborating with organizations such as WorldSkills International to ensure that we participate in development of skills in various local regions, wherever we find ourselves in. Yeah.
All right, Lincoln. Now explain to us the relationship between Lincoln Electric and WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022.
Well, I think the whole relationship is really inspired by our international collaboration. For many years now, as I mentioned earlier, Lincoln Electric South Africa Lincoln Electric as a global entity has been in partnership with WorldSkills International officially for many years. So, but what we have been trying to do at lower levels over the years is to cascade that kind of interactions with regional organizations as well, because building up to the international competition, there's a lot of build-up events that need to take place. And without support of companies like us introducing key and relevant technology to the training centers, to the local industry, the performance of our local representative in the international level will not really be effective, and we won't not necessarily be able to see progress over time if we do not start engaging these training centers at the early age. So that's really our engagement. So in between the official competition, there's whole lot of involvement as well between us and the training colleges, private and public, to ensure that we build that momentum before the actual competition comes about.
That's great to hear that this relationship started internationally. Now also talk to us about Lincoln Electric's involvement at this particular competition. We know that you sponsored the welding skills category.
Yes, no, that's correct. So as I mentioned earlier, what we try to do is to also align the experience of the competitors at the regional level. In this case, it's at African level, to ensure that the level of technology or the type of technology that they use in a competition such as this is actually the same that they will find later on when they go to an international level, such as, well, we think the next competition is going to take place in China. So when they get there, they would have been exposed to the same level of technology. And by the way, that type of technology is the same type of technology that is used by the industry, not only in Africa, but by the developed industries all around the globe. So yes, and part of our involvement in this event, of course, is showcasing of some of the useful and advanced technologies that can be utilized by these training colleges in ensuring that they keep up with the times, and also they use available technology out there to effectively train their welders out there, to save some costs, to accelerate their training progress, and also to ensure that they also are not left behind when you look at what actually the advanced economies are actually practicing in terms of the method used for training. So we're trying by all means to ensure that the best technologies that are used out there are actually communicated to our environments where we find ourselves in. That's the whole point. That's our involvement with the local entity.
Well, that's all the time we had for our conversation, but I'd like to say thank you very much for contributing to the success of this competition.
No, thank you very much for the time, Elago.
Well, that was Tulani from Lincoln Electric, and he was just talking to us about their involvement at WorldSkills Africa Swakopmund 2022. As we do know, Lincoln Electric has sponsored the welding category and has been a major partner for WorldSkills International, not only the African continent. It's back to you, friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Elago. And with that, we've come to the end of the last broadcast of Skills Update from the Dome in Swakopmund, where WorldSkills Africa 2022 is coming to an end. From myself, Franlin Thomas, and the rest of the production team, we thank you so much for having joined us. If you've missed out on anything in terms of our broadcast, that you can actually go to the WorldSkills Africa page and have a look at those broadcasts. From myself, Fran, goodbye, Africa and the world.
Be a man of bravery, be a man of bravery, this is what you are. This is what you are. This is what you are. Be a man of bravery. Be a man of bravery. This is what you are. This is what you are.